域展開。無料空所。
What's up, YouTubers? It's your boy Spectro here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Spider-Man and the Great Web. And I think it's time for everyone, Spider-Man's fans especially, to face the reality. This game was not going to be what you thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong. I would love to play a co-op Spider-Man with everyone else and have some fun with my friends as well. I mean, come on, people. Swell slinging around New York City as Spider-Man, and other Spider people, and just having fun, and doing missions together, solving crime. Like, who wouldn't want that? But, like, I'm gonna be honest, as a person who's literally played Suicide Squad from beginning into the end, and I'm telling you this, and I mean it, this was not a good idea. Especially if it was a live service game. It's not if it was it was going to be a live service game. This game was not going to be what we thought it was, guys. It might have been fun for like the first season, and then the fuckery would have came. That's just face the reality. Like, I just want you guys to understand what would have happened. This would not would have been what we thought it was going to be. It would have been like, and also I don't feel like the world slinging might have been as good as the single player games are. I mean, that's just how it was going to be. Most of the people swinging around at once, there's no way that world slinging was going to be like great. I'm not going to say Sony it would have been terrible. I don't think Sony ever really done a live service game before. I don't think they have. I could be wrong, but at least from what I'm aware of their history games, I don't think they ever done a live service game before. So I don't know how well they would adjust to it, but I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather than just focus on Marvel Spider-Man 3 and get like a silk, in between game, a spin-off game in between them before we get Spider-Man 3, then just worry about this. And then they got Wolverine. They had a whole list that to put, alright? I know what I'm saying may seem like I'm just being a negative downer, but I'm just being honest, guys. Like, we done this rodeo more times than we should have, honestly. When it comes to live service games, we shouldn't be doing this rodeo no more. Alright, we generally just shouldn't. Last live service game that was actually good was what, Helldivers? And that's it. Helldivers was a great game, but like out of the last a decade or so of live service games, I mean, how many of them can you honestly say that was just like magnificent? All right, not gonna say everyone in them in the last decade was all bad, but let's be honest, bro. Suicide Squad, Avengers, I can go on, people. I genuinely can go on, but I'm not here to talk about all those games. I'm just here to talk about Spider-Man and just tell you guys that this was not a good. It might have been a good idea on the surface, and they might have just thought of this because they might have seen people talking like, yeah, I want to play Spider-Man with friends, I want to be able to swing around the city with my friends, do missions together, and that might have sparked this idea. But at the end of the day, Sony saw the long game with this. They saw eventually it would not go the way they thought, and if anything convinced them for sure now, it's definitely Suicide Squad absolute fucking failure. Cause what the hell, like, bro, like, seriously, you guys saw how that game turned out. If that's not a cautious warning to not do this, I don't know what is. I'd be more surprised, honestly, if they genuinely continued to have done this project and they saw Suicide Squad fail the way it did. Like, even if you would be like, okay, they can just improve on what Rocksteady, messed up on, and they can just improve on those parts. But like, even then, it's like, would they really improve that much? I mean, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Like, would they really improve that much? I don't think they would have improved that much. I think what would have happened is that it would have been a half-baked mess. Because what would have been the results is that they're already working on Spider-Man 3. They're already working on, we don't know what they're working on. They got Wolverine. And then I can't remember what else. I saw the leaks. And I was going to make a video back in March when it happened. But it was going crazy, and I just didn't really want to do it. I'm pretty sure Sony was going through a rough time when all that was happening, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to talk about that and let them recuperate, let them recover from all that, and then just give it like a month or two, and then here we are. All right, so it's crazy because it's like I still see people on Twitter talk about it like, I wish this game would have happened. This game would have been amazing. Maybe, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to truly ask yourself, based on your experience of what you played live service games, did you honestly think this game was going to be that successful? Now, granted, Season 1 might have been real good. I'm just saying. Let's get that out there. Season 1 might have been real good. But let's be honest. It always starts good with Season 1. And then after that, shit hits the fan. Random ass decisions be made. Content goes dry. Repetitive missions come into play. people get tired, not enough content coming in. That's exactly what probably would happen. And not to mention what Sony was cutting down on just the devs and everything, and they're just, getting rid of people. That probably mean even less people working on that game. So you would have majority of Sony working on Marvel Spider-Man 3, Wolverine, and whatever else projects they got planned for the future. Just like, like this game wouldn't be a priority for them. It just wouldn't be. This game would just be the leftovers or just get the scraps, whatever. Like, eventually it'll just get to a point where like you just get one mission per season, or you might get like 2 missions, 10 costumes, and we'll see, a slightly new expanded part of the city. Let's put it like that, a new slightly part that you can go to that you should have had from the beginning, but it's a lot because it's live service. You gotta have some content for later. And I'm genuinely just saying that like it is because I played Suicide Squad and I genuinely regret fucking buying that game. If I can go back in time and stop my dumb self for fucking buying that game, I would. And I didn't play it by myself. I played it with a friend. And don't get me wrong, I was hooked just like everybody else, bruh. I saw Arkham Batman was Arkham connected, and I was like, bro, I gotta play that because I was playing them Arkham games. Alright, Arkham games heat. Everybody know the Arkham games be heat now. Come on now. I know, man. Them Batman Arkham games, and Rocksteady had a good, they had a good track record up to this Suicide Squad. And then I got to playing Suicide Squad. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I didn't have fun because I was playing with my friend, and I had a lot of fun. Me and him did missions together. We got the weapons and stuff, but it was like, yeah, now that you play it, it's like we're using guns and shit. But it's a Suicide Squad, and I guess we can expect that. But it's like, damn, you get to thinking about it, and you get to think about how many other DC heroes that they really could have chose from, and it's like, what are we doing right now? What are we honestly doing? And it's like, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, this, like, I genuinely just don't even know what to say because it's like, it's so much shit to say about that game that I wouldn't be able to fit it all in this video. And as a whole, I honestly I don't want to deal with live service games no more, guys. I have so little faith in Spider-Man the Great Web being good past season 1. And just what the stat list that Sony already had on their plate, I don't think they need a live service game to be worrying about right now. Just let them cook, let them focus on the Marvel Spider-Man 3 and the Cindy Moon, whatever, however they plan to do that, in the future, where her character and decide to get her Miles Morales type of treatment and give her own little spin-off game before we get to Marvel Spider-Man 3, or we might just, go straight to Marvel Spider-Man 3. But all that being said, though, it's like, man, it's crazy because I'm genuinely seeing people like geeking like, bro, we really missed out, bro. We really should have got Spider-Man the Great Web, bro. No, we shouldn't have, ladies and gentlemen. It's the reason why that project was scrapped. Low-key, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even say low-key. High-key, I wish this leak never happened. I genuinely wish this leak kind of never happened because now, and I don't say I wish it never happened. A part of me wish it never happened, and a part of me is like, okay, this is kind of cool to learn about, council projects that never happened, because it's like, okay, this is like what it could have been, and then you learn about certain stuff, and then you get to thinking about certain shit, and then you reach these sort of conclusions and realizing the track records that's going on with just live service games, and just not even just live service games, you got AAA games as well. That's like sometimes it's half-baked. Half-baked is just being generous, let's be honest here, but you got a whole lot of shit to think about when you just come to buying games. Buying games is not simple no more, guys. You got to really like look at gameplay, know what you're getting into, check the devs out, see if they got a good track record, making sure that you aren't getting like an uncut game. Like you want a fully cooked game. You don't want a game that's like you're playing it and then your shit crashing. You need like 5 fucking patches for the game to work. It's like, it's crazy shit that's be going on these days with games, bro. It's crazy shit. I would always like to think of Spider-Man the Great Web as a could have been scenario. Let's look at like a what if timeline, maybe in a parallel timeline. Parallel timelines were a real thing that we all got the Great Web, and maybe it was a successful game, okay? Maybe I'll be positive about this. Maybe it would turn out to be a successful game in that timeline, and we all had a good time. And DLCs were just not DLCs, just overall seasonal passes was great. Each season was top tier. We were getting top tier content. But then something just spirals, and then over time people probably start asking for single player games again, and Sony acts like, nah, we're gonna keep this going. And they were on the 10th season or 12th season, and it's like, okay, please give me single player games, and it's like, nah, we're just gonna keep this going. you know. But that's just all in the parallel timeline. When it's me rambling. But like I was saying though, Spider-Man the Great Web, wow, cool idea. Playing, I see many people bring it up before that they want to play with their friends in the Spider-Man. All right. And honestly, like I said, it sounds really dope, and it makes sense because you got Peter, you got Miles, you know, 2 Spider-Man. Why would you not want to play, you know, as co-op and just have 2 people whipping around the city and doing your thing? But I just don't see it working well, guys. I don't. I just don't. I don't have the faith. I don't believe they can genuinely do it without not having to have something crazy ass executive mandate coming into play and fucking the whole game up. That's just what it's gonna be. Because when the live service game coming into the picture, money's gonna talk every time, people. Remember that. When it comes to the live service game, you might get the good content first, but you best believe those microtransactions are gonna come in at full force sooner or later. Especially with Spider-Man, you gotta think about how many Spider-Man characters there are, how big his mythos is. It's like he got so many fucking comics. Like he's been around for years, no, decades. That's like decades of comics. So it's like that's a lot of shit. A lot of content, a lot of microtransactions. I mean, some people would get into it and buy the shit, you know, costumes, you know. I don't even know what you really do too much for cosmetics inside Spider-Man the Great Web. I guess you can get, like I said, 4 costumes and different abilities and unlocking different cities, I guess. I mean, I don't even really know, like, what the fuck would you do for cosmetics in this sort of game? What would you do for that? I mean, other than costumes, I mean, I guess you can get, like, emotes and shit like that. I mean, and then that's it. What else you gonna do? Like, what else you gonna really get is cosmetics wise, like abilities and special abilities, I guess. And that's also a thing. Suits that can have special abilities. Okay, I don't know. It might be a little bit something you can cook with that. But all that being said, though, folks, I think we all should agree that it's best to leave that to a what if scenario, right? I think they made the right decision on not going through with that plan and continue focusing on that role plan that they got right now. And I hope they do great with their future games. With all that being said, though, folks, tell me what you think in the comment section below about this, and what is your opinion of Spider-Man the Great Web on Spectro. Like if you like video, dislike the video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a great day. See ya.